What's up, YouTubers? It's your girl Shannon from EV and Chill, and I have to share some news with you guys. I just dropped another deposit on an EV truck. What? I know. What am I doing? Okay, but January 5th, yesterday, Chevy just released all of the details on their EV, the Silverado truck, and you guys, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed by it so far. And honestly, I didn't want to be impressed by it. Truthfully, I mean the Ford Lightning that's coming out sooner, the Chevy Silverado that's going to be released in like 2023, the Lightning's going to be released sooner, and truthfully, you guys, I thought I was kind of leaning more towards Ford anyways. I kind of have a history with Ford. I mean, we have the Ford Mustang Mach-E, we used to have a Ford F-150 Platinum, and you guys, I love that Platinum. It massaged your booty. How could you not like it? So I thought, if anything, I might be leaning a little bit more towards the Ford. But you guys, after, again, seeing the stats on the Chevy, I'm real interested in it. I think I must have like a bad case of FOMO because I don't want to miss out on any EV truck. So right now, let me just give you like a quick review. And if you're new to the channel, what's up? I'm Shannon. If you're not new to the channel, then welcome back. Okay, so let's go over like a quick roundup, you guys. So right now, we are sitting in our Tesla Model Y Performance. She's brand new. She's real pretty. I named her Red Light District. I thought that was really fitting. So welcome to the Red Light District. Okay, we also have our Tesla Model 3. We've had that one for like 2.5 years now, I think. Okay, and we have our Ford Mustang Mach-E, which we're going to be selling soon, so stay tuned for that video. And we have some trucks on order. We've got the Cybertruck on order. We've got the Rivian R1T on order. Now we have the Chevy Silverado on order. And if you think I have too many trucks on order, then truck you. Okay, yeah, so I think I do have a case of FOMO. I just don't want to miss out on any truck. But we put our deposit down on that. Again, I really thought I was going to be leaning more towards the Ford. But then we've had a lot of issues with our Mustang Mach-E. As beautiful as the Mustang is on the outside, you guys, I am less than impressed with the technology on the inside. And I'm afraid that's the same technology that's going to be in the Lightning. So I'm not ruling out ever owning a Lightning one day, but I think I'm going to hold off on the first one that comes out. I'm just not real interested in that. It's just no bueno for me. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. Let's talk about some of my thoughts, some of my POs, my personal opinions on the Chevy Silverado. And let's first start by talking about price point. Okay, so the Silverado, it is going to start at $39K and it's going to go all the way up to over $100,000. Which, you guys, I do have a little bit of an issue spending like over 6 digits on a truck, especially from like an auto manufacturer that also makes $20,000 vehicles. There's like a little bit of a discrepancy to me. But I know there's going to be a lot of different trim levels and different price points in there, so I'm probably going to be able to find one that more than appeals to me and my needs. But here's one of the first things that really appeals to me about the Chevy Silverado EV. It was purpose-built to be an electric vehicle from the get-go. Now, the Ford Lightning, like that's going to be the first kind of like full-size truck to kind of hit the market. And for me personally, I feel like Ford kind of like pushed it out maybe a little too quick. Just kind of like get it out there, like appease the masses. Where Chevy, on the other hand, I feel like they paused, they took a second, they thought about it practically as an EV truck. And I think that was really smart of them because I think building it as an EV from the ground up, they're really able to do things like better integrate the battery pack. And because, again, they're building it as an EV, there's shorter overhangs in the front and the back. And they're able to do those shorter overhangs because they're not using the same configuration that they would use for their ICE vehicle. So just little things like that is something that really impresses me. I also think it is really futuristic looking. Now, to me, it's more futuristic than the Lightning, but it's not near as futuristic as the Cybertruck. I feel like it's kind of a happy medium between like the Lightning and the Cybertruck. Now, I do think something is kind of funny. I mean, I guess it's just the trend that's happening right now. But the light bar, like the Cybertruck, the Lightning, now the Silverado, not saying I hate the light bar. I actually think it's pretty cool. But I do think that's just like a funny kind of like running thing that they all have. Now let's switch gears. I love my car references. Okay, let's switch gears and let's talk about the stats. Okay, so Chevy is here and they are ready to compete. They are not playing games. On the largest battery capacity, it can go 400 miles. That's what they're saying right now, has not been EPA tested yet, but that's what they're saying. And you guys, that's real impressive. I think right now Ford is saying their Lightning, like at max battery capacity, could do like 300 miles, which again, 300 miles, that's no joke either, but 400, dang Chevy, you guys are bringing it. Okay, here's something else that I love, because again, this EV is purpose built. They're using new battery technology. They're using Ultium battery technology. Now that's from GM, which they made initially for like the Hummer EV. Now that's going to be in the Silverado. And that should make us all happy that they're not using the same technology that they have been using in the Chevy Bolt. Because this past year, things really went down for Chevy. Actually, things kind of went up for Chevy, like up in flames. Actually, 2021 was a pretty lit year for Chevy. Okay, I'm gonna see myself out. And because it's a truck, we also have to talk about the truck bed. So the truck bed is 5 foot 11 inches. Now that always sounds big to me because like I'm 5'4" people, so like a lot of things sound taller and longer. But the truck also has this mid-gate. So the cool thing is that if you lay the mid-gate down, it will basically extend to like a 9-foot truck bed. So that's really cool. Say for example, if you're hauling around a lot of wood and you don't want it to hang out the tailgate, you can just lay that mid-gate down and you have like a 9-foot bed. Now for me, personally, I don't think that's still enough room to haul around my husband's wood. But it will work for me in a pinch if I'm running to Home Depot. So that is good to know. That's a really cool thing about the midgate. For me, it's kind of reminiscent of like the Chevy Avalanche. And the Avalanche got a lot of hate, people. But I kind of think it was pretty cool. I didn't think the Avalanche was that bad. I know Chevy says they didn't get a lot of inspiration from the Avalanche. But I kind of think they did a little bit. I mean, you could almost call this Chevy Silverado, you could almost call it the EV Lanche. But it's still cool to me that they are bringing back that functionality from the Avalanche. And to mention a few other highlights of the Silverado EV, it has a 10,000 pound towing capacity, which I think is on par with the Lightning, but Chevy does say that a future variant, they're looking at a 20,000 pound towing capacity, so that's putting it up there in some pretty high territory. And as far as how quick it is, they're saying it could do 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, and you guys, that is crazy. This is a full-size truck we're talking about, so that is really, really impressive. Okay, now let's talk just one more time about looks again. Now I've said it kind of looks futuristic, but I think what's kind of cool to note is that if you look at the front of it, like it doesn't look like just like a block of wood cutting through the air. Like it looks pretty aerodynamic. It looks kind of sleek in the front, so I think that's probably something that definitely helps. Again, with aerodynamics, which is going to help with range. But something else I just have to talk about, those square wheel arches, you guys, I don't love how it looks. It's a square and then like the wheel is round. It just does not compute in my mind. It kind of reminds me of, what is that phrase, like fitting a square peg in a round hole, only this is like the inverse of that. I guess it's reminiscent of like some previous Silverados. I mean, to me, that's just like a little bit weird. I don't know, maybe it doesn't bother you. Let me know by dropping a comment below. Do you care about like the square wheel arches? But other than that, look-wise, I don't think it looks anything crazy. I mean, we're still talking about a truck here. I mean, the side profile, it still does kind of remind me a little bit of an Avalanche. The rear end, I mean, the booty looks nice, but nothing like too crazy or too noteworthy about it. Okay, let's talk about the inside, because this is where like I kind of get excited. We're talking about technology, we're talking about screens, infotainment, and here's something Chevy did that I love. Okay, so they have an 11-inch driver's display, but you guys, this is what I'm crazy about. They have a 17-inch horizontal infotainment screen. You guys, this horizontal display, love it. I feel like I've been saying this for a long time now, and I feel like auto manufacturers are just starting to listen to me. If you've been following my channel for a hot minute, you know I've been saying this for a while. When our Tesla Model 3 had the vertical screens, I mean, we briefly looked at the Model Ys and even some Model X's, but that was back when they had like the vertical screens. And I just thought horizontal is the way of the future. I mean, the more our social lives and like infotainment gets like integrated into our cars and our vehicles, I mean, we just want things to be like horizontal. Look at my phone. You're probably watching this YouTube video like this, not like this. I mean, even in like your living room, you probably have like maybe a 60-inch TV, and it's this way, not this way. Go to the movie theaters. You're watching on a horizontal screen. But Tesla, I mean, they fixed it with their Model Ys and their Model X's. Those are horizontal screens now. Rivian is horizontal. Of course, the Chevy that we're talking about. It did surprise me though that Ford with their Mach-E did the vertical screen. Now it's a 15.5-inch screen, which is nice, but again, it's vertical, and I just feel like that really limits a lot. I feel like things are just better horizontal anyways. I mean, I love the Tango, but what's better than the Tango? The horizontal Tango. So I'm just glad Chevy picked up on the landscape screen. Okay, continuing to talk about the interior here. I mean, it looks like there are a lot of buttons on the inside. It doesn't look overwhelming or like overly cluttered, but definitely more buttons than what I'm used to right now. But again, depending on what kind of vehicle you're coming from, that might not be an issue for you. Now moving to the back, it looks like there is a lot of leg room. Not surprising though, because this is a full-size truck. But something that is kind of fun is that there's no transmission hump, so there might not be any humping in the back for you. No, I'm just kidding. We'll still have some humping. But because there is no transmission hump, Chevy has said that that allows them to make for a larger console. So again, just another perk to it being like a purpose-built EV. So that's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna jump back out to the exterior real quickly. Okay, so Chevy has said that there will be 24-inch wheels available for this vehicle. Y'all, 24-inch wheels is crazy. How much is a tire gonna be? That's gonna be crazy. Now, when I was little, 20-inch wheels were like a big deal. So 24-inch, okay, that's gonna be really awesome. And you might be thinking, whoa, 24-inch wheels, that might be a rough ride. Now, if you like it rough, I have some bad news for you. Chevy is going to be offering an air ride suspension system. So basically, like, that's going to smooth out the ride. And I mean, personally, when I like to ride in a truck, I like it to be a smooth ride. So I think that's going to work out really well. And it's only going to help, like, when you're driving at highway speeds, the vehicle will be able to lower itself, kind of similar to like how a Ram 1500 does. And I mean, you guys, Ram has been using this technology for years, so it's kind of nice that Chevy is finally hopping on board. But since the vehicle will be able to lower itself, again, I think that's only going to help with aerodynamics, which again will hopefully impact range in a good way. So really cool. I'm glad that Chevy is taking all of these little bits and like really giving us the best kind of truck they can right now. So overall, I'm super impressed with this EV coming from Chevy. I mean, the truck bed, it's got some outlets, which I think we're probably all expecting from EV trucks right now anyways. The frunk, it can hold 3 large suitcases. I think the frunk might be smaller than the Lightning, but overall, like, holding 3 large suitcases, like, I mean, I think that's pretty substantial. But the biggest elements, the ones that are most important to me, are range and how fast it can charge. And it seems like Chevy really hit it out of the park here. I'm just really hoping they'll be able to stick to their 2023 time frame. But I wasn't expecting to be this impressed by Chevy, but I am. So Chevy, you caught my eye, and now you're catching my deposit. I'm really excited for this. Okay, and now you let me know your thoughts too. Drop me a comment below. Are you excited about the Silverado EV? Yes or no? Tell me why. Of all the trucks, which ones do you want? Which one have you put a deposit down on already? I'm really interested to know. Well, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.